Hello, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel for more Zeeworld updates. So the last update about Twist of Fate, Pallavi accepted Rhea as Siddharth's wife to humiliate Prachi. Let's continue. Pragya thinks about Abby and thinks that whenever I think about him, he comes in front of me. Abby is outside the farmhouse and he asks the watchman to let him go inside and says that I am just a mechanic and if you don't let me inside, then madam will get angry on you. He says I heard that he was angry with her husband when he came here. The watchman asks him to go and says that your face resembles rockstar Abhishek Mehra. Abby says even I think the same, but when I see her, I neither get that feelings nor husband feeling. Pragya asks Gautam to show the papers. Gautam shows the papers. Pragya reads it. Gautam thinks that he wants to hold Pragya and read her as she is reading the paper. Pragya tells him that she is feeling strange. Abby rings the bell and thinks that it is not working. He thinks to give the keys and return to his basti. He looks on. The doctor tries to revive Vikram and asks everyone to go out. Beji asks that what happened to him. The doctor says that he got shock. I told clearly before that he got shock. I asked you to keep him happy. Pallavi asks what happened to him. The doctor says that he got the second attack and asks everyone to go out. Pallavi is shocked. Everyone stand outside and look at him. Pallavi is about to fall, but Rambhu holds her and she signs to him not to touch her. Rhea holds Siddharth's hand as he gets tears in his eyes. Rambhu wipes Pallavi's tears, but she brushes off his hand and goes from there. Rambhu hugs Siddharth and cries. Beji goes behind Pallavi. Prachi also cries and goes from there. Rhea looks at her and Pallavi. Beji asks Pallavi if she is hiding her tears. Pallavi blames Prachi for all the happenings and asks her to see what has happened with her presence. Prachi comes there. Pallavi asks her to go from there and asks if she wants to give heart attack to others too. She says don't be innocent. He didn't want to see your face but saw you and got attacked. That is why you are inauspicious. Beji asks Pallavi to stop herself. Pallavi says that I have to stop her and asks why did you come? You are shameless and still standing here, and asks if she is waiting to see Vikram dead and she asks if she wants to kill him. Beji says that Sid asks her to come here. Pallavi says I ordered you not to come here. I don't want your inauspicious effect on us and says you want to kill us. Prachi says no and says that I don't want all this. Pallavi says that you didn't get entry here, so you wanted to snatch my husband and now after snatching my son. She says nobody loves her and she is inauspicious for everyone. She says everyone will get eclipsed because of her and she says that your ma and papa are separated because of you and Abby was bankrupt and came on the road. Prachi asks Pallavi not to say that and cries. Pallavi says that your mom died because of you and asks her to live from their lives and live from their lives. Prachi couldn't bear it anymore and she goes away from there crying. She recalls Pallavi's words and goes out and sits. She cries thinking about Pragya. Pragya checks the paper. She thinks that something is wrong. Gautam says that let me check. Pragya says not in the papers and tells that she is feeling drowsy. Gautam says that I had added vodka in the drink and says wine was mixed in it and asks if she couldn't identify it. Pragya says she had it with her husband at home. Gautam is shocked and asks about husband. Pragya says ex-husband. Gautam thinks that now she will drink with him. Pragya goes to the washroom. Mr. Tapa comes to meet Sushma and says Gautam took Pragya to show our farmhouse. Sushma says I hope the papers are not wrong this time. She goes. Mr. Tapa calls Gautam and asks if the papers are fine. Gautam says that he is thinking about his lifetime partnership with her. Watchman informs Sushma about Abby going to the farmhouse. Sushma asks the driver to take her to the farmhouse. Mr. Tapa tells him that Pragya will not do anything wrong and will save herself. Gautam tells that Pragya knows that she has taken a drink and says that after whatever is happening between them, she will try to make him understand that it was a mistake, but I will not let her forget. Gautam says that nobody's reflection will come between Pragya and me tonight. Abby hears him standing in the window and comes inside. Gautam asks if he came here to fight with him for the road fight. Abby asks how dare you to speak about Pragya like that. Gautam asks how do you know her. Abby beats Gautam. Gautam calls the security. The security guy asks that what happened sir. Abby continues to beat Gautam. Gautam says I thought to hand over you to the security, but I will treat you myself. He hit him with the bat. Abby is unaffected and throws the bat away. He beats Gautam again. The security guy tells others what is happening. Pragya washes her face in the washroom and hears the sound. She thinks that what is it? Abby asks Gautam what did he say about Pragya. Gautam falls down on the ground. Abby continues to beat Gautam. Gautam faints. Pragya comes there and asks Abby to leave him. She asks Gautam to get up. Abby says that he will die today. Pragya blames Abby for beating him and asks that what are you doing here? Abby asks her to come with him. Pragya says don't you dare. Abby beat Gautam again. Pragya asks Abby to leave him. She asks Gautam to speak up and asks, are you okay? Abby says Gautam is not yet dead. Pragya says what have you done with him and asks why did you come here? Abby asks Pragya to come with him and says neither this place nor this guy is right. Pragya says that she came with him here and tells him that she will meet whoever she wants and it is her wish and her life. Abby asks Pragya to hire some security guards and get safe from men like him. Pragya says that neither I need a security guard to protect myself, nor do I need a goon like you for my protection. She says that she knows well from whom she shall protect herself. She asks him to stay away from her. Abby is shocked. Pragya says you are nothing for me, rather than just a stranger. Abby asks if I am nothing to you. He pulls her closer to himself and asks, why are you doing this with me? Pragya says that you have lost all the right and says that it cannot be back. He asks her to show her anger to him. Pragya asks him to go and show his attitude to his wife Tanu. Abby says whenever you call Tanu as my wife, I feel bad. Pragya says if he is sad to see her moving on. He says that he had come to give her the keys and says that he heard Gautam talking about her and he came to know that he wanted to come closer to her. Pragya says who are you to do this and says that maybe she wants to get closer to him. Abby says don't think like this, you are mine. Pragya says I am nothing to you. Who was yours is dead 2 years ago and the one who is standing in front of you is Sushma's daughter and her likes her and are different. Abby says you can't be my Pragya as my Pragya cannot push me. He says my Pragya knows only to love and you don't know anything rather than hatred. Pragya says at least you understood. Abby says I understood that I shall not stop someone if he or she is digging the pit. He asks her to have party and says I will not come to disturb you. Pragya says you will come if you get time from Tanu. She asks him to end the talk. Abby takes the drink and says the matter is ended. You don't like me, but I like him, so come on with me. Why shall I go in the taxi? He takes the key from her hand and goes. Pragya asks Gautam if he is fine. The security guard comes to Gautam. Pragya comes to Abby. Abby says one can defeat me with just love and drives off. He says love is over and thinks that he will defeat her. Pragya thinks that she has lost everything and there's nothing to defeat. Sushma sees Abby's car and asks the driver to take the car to Pragya's car. Abby asks Sushma to keep Pragya stay away from that man and tells that he has seen a different Pragya altogether. Sushma says that Pragya needs to stay away from just one man and that is you. Sushma asks the driver to take her to the farmhouse. Sushma comes there. Gautam tells Sushma about the mechanic beating him. Sushma says that some people couldn't see others' happiness. She asks where is Pragya? Gautam says that she took my car and said that I will send it to the driver. Sushma asks if he had beaten you much and says you shall file a police complaint. Gautam says no and says maybe that guy had suffered due to circumstances. Sushma thinks that he couldn't bear it. Gautam thinks that he had ruined his plan and beaten him much. Abby thinks of Pragya's words and meets with an accident. Pragya senses something and gets restless. Abby is fine and looks on. The servant asks if she should ask the driver to take out the car. Pragya says no. Beji tells Pallavi that she cannot hide from her how much she loves her son. She says my son got the second attack and wanted to stop Prachi and Rambro. Pallavi says Vikram doesn't like Prachi. Beji says we are talking about love, which a mother asks for her son. Pallavi asks what do you want to say? Beji says that Vikram wants his son and wants him to be back. Pallavi says Rambro cannot come here. Beji says if he can think about your son, then I can think about my son too. Pallavi says I didn't stop him from coming to the house. Beji says you did. You had always blamed Prachi for snatching Rambro, but the real reason is you, as Prachi never stopped him from coming here. Beji says that whatever happened with Vikram is due to you and says that I don't want to call you guilty and I don't want to punish him. She says you save your husband, let Rambro come here. Don't keep any condition in front of him. She says Vikram needs Rambro, call him back. She says if anything happens to Vikram, then I cannot leave. Abby thinks that the wine was good, that he drank fully. He thinks that he had damaged Pragya's car and thinks to leave it in the garage. Pragya thinks of Abby beating Gautam and telling her that she cannot be his Pragya, Sushma comes to Pragya and says that Gautam refused to file FIR. Pragya says that did Gautam call you? Sushma says that I went there. She says Abhi still thinks that you are his wife and he cannot bear to see Gautam and you together. She says it is good that Gautam hasn't filed FIR and says your name would have been ruined. She asks her to think about her work. Pragya says that one thing she cannot digest and says that those who don't have anything to lose can do anything. Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to like my video and check the channel for more updates. Thank you.